Good morning, children. I hope you are all keeping well. Your companions, your other students are coming to the class and you are remaining at home. Are you feeling sad or happy? I hope you are happy. Oh, some of you may be happy, some of you may not be happy. You want to come to the school, is it not? Okay, you pray that soon you also will be coming to the school. Okay, get ready for your exams, study well, work hard. Okay, so today you will learn a new lesson in English. That is the lesson 5, the summit within. Summit within. What is the summit? Summit means climbing on the top of a mountain, that is he reached. So this lesson tells the narration of the man who H.P.S. Aulwalai. Okay. He climbed on the top of the Everest in 1965 and he is narrating his experience, his feelings, all that joy, that anxieties and that thrill that he experienced while he was climbing on the Mount Everest. What is Mount Everest? The Mount Everest is the highest mountain in the world, is it not? So he climbed on. So there are so many, but he in 1965 he climbed on Mount Everest and he himself is narrating the lesson. Okay, he himself is telling what was his feeling, what was his mental preparation and things like that. So as we read the lesson, you will understand what is the mind of this particular man who submitted himself on the top of Mount Everest. So it is an expedition. Expedition means a journey to the peak most of the Mount Everest. Please take your textbook, page number 76, and as I read the lesson, look carefully and listen. Okay? Now, the summit within. As we read the lesson before we enter the class, there are a short thing is given for you. Before you read, what you have to do? Imagine H.P.S. Aulwalai was a member of the first successful Indian expedition. So this particular man, he was one of the Indians who was successful in reaching the top of the mountain. It happened in 1965. So how did he feel within? He stood on the highest point of the world. He's telling, what did he feel within himself? The answer is summit within, is it not? Within means inside of him. He is asking what was his feeling as he reached on the topmost of the peak. Okay? Then let us hear his story in his words, climbing the summit and then the more difficult task of climbing the summit within. Okay? So it is as I said at the beginning, this is narration of the lesson is the man himself is writing his feelings and whatever happened to him. Okay? As I am not going to waste the time, we will continue the lesson. So I hope you have understood what is the lesson is all about. It is the feeling of this particular person who climbed on the top of the Mount Everest in the year 1965. He is one among different people. Okay? Here, of all the emotions which surging means coming, arising, coming to him, the emotion means feelings, surged through me as I stood on the summit of Everest, looking over miles of panorama below us. So he is telling, as he reached on the topmost of the Mount Everest, he is telling what was the miles and miles he travelled in order to reach there, is it not? So he is looking back, looking down, what was his panorama below. So the feelings that he is telling. He says the dominant one thing I was in humility. He says the dominant feeling that he felt. Dominant means the most feeling. The first thing that he felt was humility. Humility means what? Humbleness, isn't it? So he felt to be humble because he understood maybe it is not his merit that he went. It was God who helped him. Maybe that was his humility. When do we feel humility? When do we feel humble? When we surrender ourselves, when we realize we are nothing and God is everything. Only to God we need to submit ourselves. It's not because God is beyond our imagination, beyond our words, beyond our everything. Okay? So he says that he felt the first and foremost thing that he felt was to be humble as he was on the top. Means when we achieve something, when we do something great, people appreciate us. What do we feel? We feel proud about it. But this man reached on the peak of the Mount Everest. He says the first thing he felt was to be a humble person, humble, humility. Then he says the physical in me, physical means his bodily, physical in me seemed to say, thanks to God, it is all over. So what is physically? As usually he says, everything, thanks to God that everything is gone well, everything is over. However, instead of being jubilant means enjoying, celebrating, there was a tinge of sadness in him. He says that instead of having that joy of celebration, jubilant means celebration, he felt a little sad within himself. What was the reason? Why? What was it because I had already done the ultimate in climbing and there would be nothing higher to climb and all roads hereafter would lead down? What he felt sadness is maybe he says that because he reached the topmost, there is no more further to climb. Now what is after reaching there? What he has to? He cannot remain there, is not? What was he has to do? He has to come down. That made him maybe little sad within himself because he achieved the aim. There is nothing beyond to do. There is nothing to climb above because he was on the peak. And then what is this he has to do? He has to come down. That was his feeling of sadness. He achieved his aim and he has to come down. So that was maybe made him little sad within himself. Then he says the second paragraph, please look in. By climbing the summit of Everest, you are overwhelmed by a deep sense of joy and thankfulness. So he says that by climbing the summit means the top of the mountain, Mount Everest, you are overwhelmed. Overwhelmed means to be more happy, joyful, by a deep sense of joy and thankfulness. He said, he was overwhelmed. He really rejoiced because he had a deep sense of joy and thankfulness. Thankfulness to whom? To maybe to God first. Then so many people must have been praying for him, encouraging him, all those things. Okay, it is a joy which lasts a lifetime. He says that joy will last a lifetime because when you achieve something great, not something small thing, great, you feel that joy. That is why today we are learning about this man, is it not? Because he won everybody cannot climb on the top of Everest. It has to have lot of things that we will come to know. So it is a joy which lasts lifetime. Whole throughout the life he will feel happy and many people hear him also, encourage him, support him, congratulate him, all those things. It is a lifelong. Correct? Then the experience changes you completely. He says that the experience of climbing on the top changes your life itself completely. Your attitude, your behavior, your character, everything will change. That is what he is telling. The man who has been on the mountain is never the same again. The man who, that determination, that courage. So the person who does something great will not remain as an ordinary. He feels much more to do. He has that courage, he has that enthusiasm to do again and again. So he will be a different person. Not Chaitahe people, no, goody, no. No, he will have a determination and things like that. That person will have the attitude of doing more things. Will not be satisfied with a little. Want achieve greater things. The person will have lot of willpower. All those things he is telling. The third paragraph coming, please look. As I look back at life after climbing the Everest, I cannot help remarking about the other summit. He says that as I look back after climbing the Everest, I cannot help remarking about the other summit. Because Everest is the highest mountain. So all the other things, it will be easy for him. That is what he said. Now, because the greatest difficult things he achieved, for him anything is possible. That is what he is telling. Anything is possible. The summit of the mind. He says that the summit of the mind. Because when we want to do something, we should have a mental preparation. Is it not? Our mind should be steady. Our mind should be ready to do that. See, for example, now in this coronavirus, everybody was frightened, everything was so. But if you have that willpower, of course, we should have grace of God, we have courage, faith, all those things are there. But that willpower, our mental preparation, our mind is weak means everything will be weak. Okay, our mind should be rich, our mind should be fresh, with a new understanding, with a new life. So that is what he says, that the summit of the mind is very, very important. He says that no less formidable and no easier to climb. He says that no less formidable. It's not that easy, but we should prepare. It is not that easy to climb. And that also it is not like a climbing a small hill. The top of the mountain, it is full of stone and ice. And there is nothing to hold and walk. So the struggle that the man went through, he says that. So it is not that easy, but that mind should be prepared. That willpower should be there to do that. That the man is telling. Okay. Even when getting down from the summit, once the physical exhaustion had gone, that is once you reach there, you are not going to remain there, is it not? Once your aim is over, your purpose is over, you will come down. So he says that once you reach there, your exhaustion means the fatigue, the tiredness and things are gone, but he had gone. I began to ask myself the question, why I had climbed the Everest? Now he is telling, after reaching there, relaxing, reached, everything was okay. He is questioning himself, why did I climb the Mount Everest? So he is asking, now, why did I act as reaching the summit? I have such a hold on my imagination. So he says, why did I climb? What is my purpose? And so many questions he is asking himself. It was already a thing of the past, something done yesterday. He says that, why then I should what? The things are over, then why this kind of questions? He says, it was already a thing of the past, something had done yesterday. With every passing day, it would become more remote. And then, what would remain? Would my memories fade slowly away? So many questions he is asking himself once he achieved. See, for example, the other day, in the school, you have some competitions. For example, Kerala Piravi Day, they had the Kerala Malayali Manga competition. And afterwards, they were asking so many questions. Other students were asking questions, what is their emotions, just to know something about the things that he had. So this kind of thing, this here nobody is asking question. He is asking himself all these his feelings and things like that. Okay, that is what. There's a beautiful narration. It's a beautiful. But we should also have the asking question to our own self, not asking question to outsiders. So when we ask a question to ourselves, we get a lot of strength within us. Okay, we get a lot of strength within us. That means we are able to do things with the grace of God. So that is what it was. Already everything was. Will this memory remain in me? All this kind of things. He is not thinking about what people think about me. People will appreciate me. That is not a worry. It is a question within himself, and he is coming up with beautiful reflections as such. Okay. Then he says that the next paragraph. All these thoughts led me to question myself as to why people climb the mountain. So when he asked himself this kind of doubts and questions, and he is asking now, other doubt is why people, after all, other people climb the mountain. It is not easy to answer the question. He says, everything he is asking himself and he is writing everything. Okay, it is not easy to answer the question. The simplest answer would be, as others have said, because it is there. So he is asking, why did after all he climbed or other people climbed? It is not that easy to say. It is because the mountain is there, that's why they climb. That he says, as the people say, otherwise no other way. It's not. That is the way people talk, because it is there. It presents great difficulty. He says that it presents great difficulties. Man takes delight in overcoming obstacles. Obstacle means hurdles, no? Disturbances. When we do something, people get disturbed and distracted, and obstacles means hurdles within. The obstacles in climbing a mountain are physical, meaning mostly physically it is there, because that mountain is particular, is full of rock, there is nothing to hold on, and full of ice because the topmost, and things like that. Physically, people should be physical in the sense of appearance of the mountain, and the physical fitness of the person also is considerable, because a weak person, a sick person cannot walk even. Some people are finding difficult to walk, isn't it? So he said physical. First thing is the important obstacle climbing the mountain are physical. A climb to a summit means endurance, persistence and willpower. So what you should have when it to summit, in order to travel to a summit or an expedition to do, you should have endurance. Endurance means what? That strong desire to do the things in spite of our failures. That determination, persistence, perseverance, not giving up, but trying again. Failures will be there, but giving up. For that, willpower is essential. That is why mentally we should be prepared. The willpower. Have you seen the spider? Spider means ettukale. Spider make their net is not cobwebs. It is called the cobwebs. But we go and remove it, because we don't like cobwebs in the house. So we remove. But does the spider, if it does, spider is not killed, what happens? Again it will make. It will never give up. Yes or no? That is the we should give up. We should never give up to do something good. Something if you want to do, try, achieve. Go on, do. In spite of our difficulties, failures. Failure is a stepping stone to success. That is a proverb is there. Failure is a stepping stone to success. So we should be. That is what the man is telling. To climb to a summit means endurance, persistence and willpower. The demonstration of these physical qualities is no doubt exhilarating as it was for me also. He said it was very exciting for him. It was not that easy, but for him it was an excitement, a joy. He found a thrill in his failures. That is why he was able to achieve the success. Okay. I have a more personal answer to the question. He says he has a more personal answer to this question. From my childhood, he is speaking about from his childhood, I have been attracted by mountains. From the childhood, this particular person was attracted by mountains. That means he used to climb small hills and things like that. He was had an attraction towards that beautiful scene, no? Things like that. I had been miserable, lost when away from mountains in the plains. He says he liked to be in the mountains and he liked to enjoy there. He doesn't. He feel unhappy when he is not near to the mountain or not climbing the mountain. Plain means low places. He is not that happy. He liked to be always on the mountain climbing expedition, things like that. So otherwise he will never be happy. That is what he says there. Mountains are nature at its best. He says mountains are nature at its best. The best nature to watch and see. If you see also sometimes sunrise, sunset and on the mountain watching, beautiful it is. So that you should have that mind to enjoy that. That is what he says, that this man is entirely different from other people. That is what he feels, that nature is that is the beautiful nature, the mountain, observing the nature and things like that. Then their beauty and majesty pose a great challenge. He says that the beauty and their beauty and majesty means greatness, pose a great challenge within him. That is what he feels. This is his explanation, his feelings. Okay, and like many other people, I believe that mountains are the means of communion with God. He says that people talk, mountains are the means of communication with God. Because when we pray, we always look up, is it not? Why? We believe that God is somewhere up above. So, when that is our faith. That people believe that. When we pray, always we look up as God is up above. Okay, God is everywhere, but our faith so as he says, as other people speak, mountain are the nearest to God. He feels he can communicate to God very closely. This is what he is feeling as so many other people talk. Okay, once having granted this, the question remains. Again, he says, once having granted this, the question remains in him. Why Everest? Then again he is asking, all this had happened. Again his mind is not satisfied. Why only Everest? Because it is the highest and the mightiest and has defied many previous attempts. Why Everest is the highest and it is because of the mightiest mountain in the world. So that is why it is something thrill for him. Okay, he says that is what. So many people attempted, so many lost their lives, so many failed. But that is what he is feeling. Why only this Everest? Because it's the highest and mightiest mountain in the world. And so many people attempted and many had failure. All those things he is speaking. It takes the last ounce of one's energy, because we should have a lot of energy, enthusiasm, courage, faith, everything. The last ounce of energy will take, because people should be determined to do that. So that is ounce means ounce of water, we say no, ounce of peck and things like that. Okay, it takes the last ounce of energy. You need to have a lot of energy. It will take. You will become so tired and you will feel collapsed, but never give up. That is what this is. It is a brutal struggle with rock and ice. It is a brutal means very hard and very difficult with struggling with rocks and ice. As I said, the mountain is not like a small hills like that BC. It's a very, very hard thing. And once take up, it cannot be given up halfway. Even when one's life is at even our life is at a risk, we cannot give up on the way, because the same struggle to go up, the same struggle you need to have to come down also. We cannot stop at a halfway. It's very difficult. Lot of willpower, lot of strength, courage, all those things is very, very essential. So nobody can give it on the halfway. Sometimes you may lose your life. You may die on the way. You may slip down. So many things, but there is no way. That's what it is. And it cannot be given up on the halfway, even when one's life is at a stake, at a danger, no? The passage back as difficult as the passage onward. He says that it is not there. Halfway, if you wanted to come down, the same difficulty you have to go through. To going up is same difficulty, coming down also is a difficulty. So it is better to go up. That is what he says that. And then when the summit is climbed, there is the exhilaration. There is lot of thrill, that of joy once you reach there. He says that the joy of having done something, the joy of having done something beautiful, wonderful. That is what he says that. Then the sense of battle fought and won. He feels the battle is over. He fought the battle and won the battle. For example, when you play games and things like that, when your team wants, what a thrill. How is we can see now when the cricket match and other football match and things that are going on, you will be watching in the television, is it not? And when the one country wins, how they thrill and enjoy. It's not. That is the joy. That is what the man is telling. Something so thrilling it is. It's a joy that is something is already done. The sense of that is the battle is fought and won. There is a feeling of victory and happiness. Lot of feeling of victory and happiness. I'll stop here this class. We'll continue in the next class. I hope you have understood something. It's a beautiful thing. You also should have this kind of persistence, this kind of willpower to do anything, especially as you are students in your studies and co-curricular activities, whatever is. We should feel that thrill in doing. It is for you and for you alone. Whatever you do, what you want, you will become. What you want, you will become. Okay? So I wish you all the best. I want you to read the lesson. Read it carefully. Find out the difficult words. Some words meanings are in the glossary. But you look in the dictionary, find out the meanings. Okay? I stop here. We will continue in the next class. All of you must read the textbook. Unless you read, you will not be able to write the exams as ahead of you. Okay? All the best. See you in the next class. Thank you.